written on your registration form after reading the course description. Students will learn to drink large amounts of alcohol, often surreptitiously, while pretending to suffer no ill effects. Prerequisites include the ability to lie and a strong belief that the laws of physics and biochemistry and irrefutable evidence of any kind that attempts to undermine a lifestyle of complete dissipation applies only to others. I'd been waking up hungover since 1970. 9 years. It seemed like a long time not to see something as obvious as a drinking problem. But denial was part of the course description, the part where you lied a lot, which included lying to yourself. I was good at that. I was good at all of it. Except suddenly I was almost 30, and I knew what I hadn't known the day before, or the week before, or the year before. Why now? It had something to do with Georgia. It had something to do with making a commitment as enormous as caring for a horse who might live as my companion for the next 40 years. It had something to do with love. My search for a horse had lasted almost a year and taken me all over the Northeast, from the best Morgan breeding farms in Vermont, New Hampshire, and New York, to the backyard paddocks in the suburbs of Boston, where young girls had gone off to college, leaving their passion for horses behind. I had known I wanted a Morgan since I was 7 years old and had outgrown Bunty, the impossible but beloved Shetland pony my grandmother had given me when I was 6. After 2 years of being bitten, kicked, and thrown, I saw my riding instructor appear at my lesson one day, leading a Morgan gelding school horse for me to ride. I fell in love with Alert's stocky, muscular beauty as he effortlessly carried me around pony club show rings and later on cross-country hunts and bareback swims in nearby Langley Pond. The breed is known for its endurance and versatility, and there seemed to be nothing Alert wasn't willing to do. His steady good nature and love of being ridden endeared me to the breed forever, and I longed for the day when I could have my own Morgan. That day came on a late fall afternoon in upstate New York, when, to get away from a husband I'd grown to hate, I'd hopped in the car and driven 4 hours to a well-known Morgan breeder near Syracuse who had lots of stock for sale. I don't know why I thought bringing a horse into the chaos in my life was a good idea. I just knew that for the past year, looking for what I had come to refer to as my Morgan had given me the only peace and sanity I had. It was as clear and crisp as a fall day can get when I turned off the main road and onto the long dirt drive that led past dozens of Morgans pastured on both sides of the road that cut the farm in half. I drove slowly, letting my eyes wander over the beautiful faces and graceful arched necks for which Morgans are so prized. I was looking for signs of poor health or poor breeding, either of which would have ended my search on the spot before I'd even met the owner. But I was also looking for something else, not in the herds grazing almost to the horizon on either side of my car, but for something inside myself, a sense of recognition or connection that would let me know when I'd found my horse. In all the horses I'd seen in my year of looking, I'd never once felt this. I'd never felt, that's my horse, and I knew I wouldn't buy one until I did. What I didn't realize was that in my search for a horse, I was conducting another search, a much older one connected to my first memories of a horse as a traumatized 6-year-old dealing with the death of her mother and the disappearance of her father. Into that gaping void had stepped Bunty, a gift from Grandmother Richards, who must have known she was throwing me a lifeline, the only one she had in her limited ability to nurture, but, as it turned out, the best anyone could have offered. My reaction had been immediate and visceral, a heart-pounding recognition that I was in the presence of something wonderful beyond belief, the most spontaneous outpouring of love I had ever felt.